Have you ever wondered why the wealthiest people, the ones with all the resources, seem to do so little to help the poor? It's a question that doesn't get enough attention, especially when we hear about billionaire donations or charity events. But when you look at the big picture, you start to see a pattern. Why do the rich often ignore the struggles of the poor? It's not just greed, it's a lot more complex. Today, we'll uncover why the wealthy don't seem to care as much as they should. 1. The myth of the self-made millionaire. One of the most common beliefs that shape the attitude of the wealthy is the idea of being self-made. This is the notion that people who are rich got there entirely through their own efforts, without any help from anyone else. They earned their money and they did it alone. But this myth overlooks the many advantages that many rich people had growing up. Whether it was an elite education, connections, or even starting with a financial cushion, they were given a head start that the poor never had. This mindset leads the wealthy to think they are in control of their own destiny, and that anyone who isn't rich simply isn't working hard enough. So why would they feel obligated to help those who don't try hard enough? 2. The fear of enabling dependency. Another reason rich people often avoid helping the poor is the fear of enabling dependency. They believe that giving handouts to the poor will only encourage them to rely on others rather than find their own way. It's a classic case of tough love. The idea is that if people are given too much help, they won't learn to help themselves. But this perspective often ignores the systemic issues that keep people in poverty, like education gaps, lack of job opportunities, and discrimination. It's easy to say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, when you've never had to struggle for basic necessities. So for many wealthy people, helping the poor feels like a temporary fix that doesn't address the root causes of their problems. 3. The lack of empathy and relatability. Let's face it, most rich people can't truly relate to the struggles of the poor. They don't understand what it's like to struggle to make ends meet or to fear that the next paycheck might not cover the bills. For them, poverty is an abstract concept that doesn't touch their daily lives. They've lived in a bubble of comfort for so long that they've lost touch with the reality of those who are less fortunate. This lack of empathy makes it easy to ignore the suffering of others because it's just too distant and unfamiliar. The wealthy don't see the issues as personal. They see them as problems that are out there, happening to other people in other places. Without that personal connection, it's hard for them to care. 4. The fear of being taken advantage of. Some wealthy individuals also have a deep-seated fear of being taken advantage of when they try to help the poor. This fear often comes from experiences where their generosity was misused, or they've seen others exploit charity for personal gain. There's a concern that their money will end up in the wrong hands, or worse, that it will never reach those who truly need it. This fear can create a barrier to giving, because they don't trust that their efforts will have any lasting impact. Instead of focusing on how to help in a meaningful way, they focus on the risk of being scammed or manipulated. The sad truth is that this fear often paralyzes them from taking action at all. 5. The lack of education on effective giving. A major reason why the wealthy don't help the poor is because they don't know how to help effectively. Sure, they might donate money to charities, but many don't take the time to research where their money goes or how it will be used. They may give to causes without understanding the long-term effects or without addressing the root causes of the issues. The wealthy might not know how to get involved in sustainable ways, such as creating job opportunities, supporting education initiatives, or investing in community programs that empower people to rise out of poverty. Without understanding how to give in a way that makes a real impact, their donations often end up being short-term, surface-level solutions. 6. The belief that the system will handle it. Lastly, many rich people believe that solving poverty is not their responsibility. It's the government's job. They argue that taxes and social programs are enough to handle the issue. After all, they pay their taxes, so they've done their part. But the reality is, taxes alone are not a solution to poverty. Social systems can help, but they can't replace the need for personal involvement and investment. When the wealthy outsource their responsibility to the system, they ignore the fact that the system is often underfunded, inefficient, or outright broken in some areas. The poor often end up slipping through the cracks because the people who have the resources to make a difference don't step in. So what can we do about it? Well, real change requires empathy, understanding, and a shift in perspective. The rich need to see that helping the poor isn't about charity, it's about investing in the future, in opportunity, and in long-term solutions. If more wealthy people use their resources to create lasting change, we could see poverty decrease and social mobility increase. But until that happens, it's up to us, the everyday people, to demand that the wealthy take a real interest in solving these issues. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with others. Together, we can make a difference.